Welcome back. We're here in
Hi.
Arequipa.
So we're gonna try to make this snappy, but it won't be.
It won't be.
I saw a video that Selena Mitchell did, and I will link her channel and the video down below, but I thought it was a good idea.
Yeah.
So this is gonna be things that we started doing since we started living here in Peru.
Yeah, this was fun to think about.
Yeah. So one of the main things that I do is I do a lot more laundry by hand.
It's true.
In the States, I did have some like delicate things that I did by hand, but not nearly on this scale.
I don't think before coming here I did any laundry by hand ever in my life.
No, you didn't.
So it's kind of interesting. It's it's fun.
I also wash my shoes a lot.
Ah, yes.
Because it's dusty here.
I would wash and clean like formal shoes, but never like my normal shoes.
Yeah, I wash my Toms like at least 2 or 3 times a month because it's just it's dirty.
Yeah, it's dusty.
So this is something we both do now.
Yeah.
More me.
Yeah, definitely more you. So when we greet new people, kissing on the cheek is a really common custom here.
So as a female, I kiss both women and males.
Everybody.
But Clint only kisses females.
Yep. Otherwise, it's a handshake.
Yep. So that's different.
Yeah.
This is a good one.
Yeah, I really don't even know why, but I take a lot more naps down here. Maybe I'm getting older. Maybe it has nothing to do with Peru. Maybe I'm just getting older.
I'm a bad napper. I can't nap. So Clint takes more naps.
It's true.
Clint also cooks.
It's true.
In Wisconsin, Clint really didn't cook much.
I had like a mental block. I felt like I just couldn't cook things, but now I just cook everything. Even though we don't have proper facilities, I make do.
Right.
I make do.
And also on that same note, both of us cook a lot more homemade food.
Totally.
So instead of using like literally 0 processed food, it's all fresh fruit and veg.
Yeah.
Everything's fresh. Like I make my own vegetable broth for quinoa and soups. I also put together my own spices for like taco seasoning and things like that.
Right,
so,
things we would never have done. We just would have found them at the store.
Right. So pretty much everything's homemade.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
Yeah, and the slow cooker is a lifesaver.
Right.
Totally. Yeah. I eat much more fruit and veggies now.
Yeah, a bigger variety.
Yeah, with our cooking and just things that you find that are reasonable priced. I mean.
Yeah. When's the last time you found a papaya in Wisconsin that was good?
Right.
So
and it was as cheap as what you find it here. I mean, it's really reasonable.
Yep. We both walk a lot more.
Definitely walk a lot more.
We did walk a fair bit in the States, but it's just on a different scale here.
Totally. I mean, we walk to do anything. I mean, the only time we ever take a bus or a taxi seems like now when we go to the airport.
Or at night sometimes if we're going farther.
Right.
So, a lot more walking.
Otherwise, a lot more walking. I feel pretty good about that.
Yeah.
So, this is partially because of some limitations that we have with the water heater that I constructed, which I may or may not have made like 5 or 6 videos for already. But it requires us to shower more in the afternoon and the evening rather than in the morning. I think mostly we would shower in the morning. Now we've completely kind of inverted our shower schedule.
Which is okay.
Which is a small price to pay for emissions-free hot water, I think.
Yeah. We also wake up early every single morning.
Absolutely.
We've always been
involuntarily.
Right. We've always been early risers, but it's inescapable here.
Yeah. So 5:30 every single morning, sun comes up over Pichu Pichu over our shoulders, and I get woken up. And they say getting woken up by the sun is a better thing than a noisy alarm.
Yeah. So that's cool.
Yeah.
We also talk with our neighbors.
Yeah.
Which is different.
Yeah. There are many times when I was living in the States where I had lived places for years, and this is partially my fault, I completely admit. I didn't even know my neighbors' names. Here, I intimately know all of our neighbors, and we talk with them every day. And going in and out or seeing them on the street is a very, very common occurrence, so it's a totally different thing there.
Yeah.
I pay a lot more attention to the weather and the sun. Most of that is because of our water heater. I want to make sure we know if like we're really, really needing a shower for whatever reason, we have some event or work in the morning or whatnot, I want to make sure that the weather is understood well and so that the water is hot. Otherwise, like, it's so clear here. Tracking the sun, the moon, the stars is something that is kind of a hobby of mine, and it's so much easier here because, I mean, there's a fraction as much cloud cover here as there was back in Wisconsin.
So this one's not on our list, but we were just talking about it this afternoon, that we spend a lot more time just marveling at the landscape.
Really?
Just looking around and appreciating the beauty, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, we didn't have mountains like this or mountains at all in Wisconsin.
Wisconsin is beautiful, just in a different way.
Totally different way.
So I think it's easy to get used to your surroundings.
Right. And for us, this landscape is still a novelty, and it's just, sometimes I catch myself just gawking at how beautiful this place is.
Yeah. So we thought we'd do a little extra and add things that we no longer do.
Right. Things that we would do in the States we don't do here.
Yeah. So we don't drive at all.
I would never want a car again. Like, now that we've not had a car for what, 4 years?
A long time.
Almost 5?
Even when we lived in Wisconsin, we didn't have a car for many years.
Right.
But every once in a while, we would borrow a car or rent a car because it was necessary to be able to see our families.
Here, we can go almost anywhere in the country without a car.
Yeah. And it's awesome. This is very sad for you.
This is really sad. This is going to make me, this is going to be tough. I don't ride my bike. I don't have a bike. I really miss my bike. I really do. I would go everywhere. Work, school, groceries, whatever. I would take my bike, and I haven't biked at all since arriving in Peru. It's a goal of mine. I want to do it. Everyone says it's dangerous. Of course it is, but I want to give it a shot.
And so I would say, we said we walk more here. Mm-hmm. So in Wisconsin, we biked a lot. Exactly. So I think maybe it evens out, although in winter, you can't do that.
Right.
So anyway, that's a trade-off.
Yep.
And I kind of mentioned this, but we don't eat processed foods. We didn't eat a whole lot of processed foods in Wisconsin.
Right. We had gotten a lot better over the years.
We tried to steer away from it, but it was still nearly... Well, it wasn't impossible, of course, but processed food is cheaper in the United States.
Right.
That's all there is to it.
It's more accessible. There's a lot more of it.
So we, of course, did that a lot.
Yep. And just keeping with the food theme, being from Wisconsin, we're kind of cheese snobs. And so cheese here is not...
It's not the greatest.
It's not super impressive. There's cheese. But as far as we can tell...
It's all white.
It's all white cheese. It all tastes the same.
Yeah.
They say it's Gouda and whatever else, and it just kind of all tastes the same. Again, we come from a place that is very cheese diverse, and that's been something that's been a little bit difficult to adapt to.
Yeah. I'll let you say this next one, because I've traveled back and forth to the States, so I'm not...
Yeah, so it has been more than 610 days since I've cooked with an oven or a stove. I'm really excited to get a house and get an oven again, because there's so many things now that we would do with our oven, or things that we used to do when we were back in the States, that would just be fantastic to have again.
I mean, think about boiling pasta on the stove. Something that seems so simple, we can't do here.
Yeah, pasta. Whenever I go to a restaurant, like, the pasta menu just seems that much more attractive, because I've had pasta like 5 times in the last year.
Yeah.
So I really miss pasta.
Right.
Yep.
So the last thing we have is that we no longer walk around barefoot.
Never. If you did that here, you'd have a disaster for feet.
Yeah, if you've been watching any of our videos, you'll notice it's dusty here.
It's extraordinarily dusty.
And our apartment is old, and it's open air, as you can see, and...
which is nice.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
For a lot of things.
But the dust is everywhere.
It's oppressive.
Yes. So you need shoes or slippers. I won't even walk around in socks.
No way.
So, flippy flappies.
Flippy flappies.
But that's all we have.
That's all we have.
So,
I'm sure there's more.
Oh, yeah. If you have lived or traveled abroad and there are things that you do differently, let us know.
Let us know.
It's kind of fun to think about.
Yeah, it is. It's interesting.
Yeah. So I think we'll just end it and see you next time.
See you next time.